I was 27 years old and I was like miserable. Just kept trying to figure out what my life was for. Two most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you discover why. And at 27, I just hadn't figured out the why. And I walked into a comedy club October 8th, 1985. I won amateur night that night. I went to work the next day and quit my job. The day I quit, my boss, he talked me right out of it. He said, Steve, you're not even funny. He said, are you kidding me? You've got a family. You put that stuff back on your desk, but don't you ever come in here again with something ridiculous. You're going to be a comedian. Dude named Russell Middlebrooks came up to me and said, hey, Harv, I thought you was quitting today, man. I said, no, I talked to Tom and he told me I wasn't funny. He said, he don't know you. You the funniest dude I know. And then he looked at me, he was so hurt. He said, damn, dog, I told everybody you was leaving today. He said, man, I can't believe you letting that tell you what to do. And I took that box right back in there. I said, Tom, I'm really funny. I'm going to make it. He said, I'll tell you what, you leave out this door, don't ever come back in here again. He said, you're making a huge mistake leaving your family out like this. Probably about 20 years after that, he was at a show. And he said, I came to the show, I saw this Steve Harvey. He said, oh my God, I always knew you were going to make it. None of my family believed it. The only family member I had that thought it was a good idea was my father. And he just said, son, if you think you can make it, get on out there and get the stuff. My father was born in 1914. My grandfather was born into slavery. My grandfather was a slave till he was 12. And my dad was the only one who believed it. Everybody else told me no. Laughed at me.
Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, but it's necessary that you have it. That you go for what is yours in the universe. I have a friend that I said, I want you to work with me. I called her up. She said, Les, are you sure I can do it? Sure you can. If I can do it, sure you can do it. In fact, I'm going to give you the support. So I was telling her that I knew she hated her job with a passion. See, a lot of people go to work every day miserable, and all they do is just talk about how miserable they are. But they don't do anything about it. And we've been going through this for years, ladies and gentlemen. She brought her husband, and that was one of the major problems that I realized. He couldn't see it for her. So you got to make sure that you have people in your life that can see it for you. So I said, but if you can't see it for her, don't tell her that. Just give her some support. What if you're wrong? You've seen her speak. She's got great speaking skills. You've got a great woman here. But you see, people who can't see it for themselves can't see it for you. So I said, will you do it with me? I said, I'm going to give you the support you need. You can't do it by yourself. I will stand with you. She said, okay. 3 days later, I got an emergency call at my office. It was from my husband. He called and said, tell Les Brown that Marion is dead. And I remember the last time that I saw her, and I had some of her papers. And what got me, what was so sad that made me begin to cry, was that there were poems that she had started that were profound poems, great thoughts, that she didn't complete. That poem was given to her. I can't finish that for her. That play, whatever the outcome that she had envisioned, was given to her. I believe all of us have some purpose for being here. And I was reading a newspaper that said that millions of people are dying because of what they're eating, talking about their diet. So that even more are dying because of what's eating them. You've got to find ways to increase your sense of self-appreciation, because if you don't, you will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior. If you don't program yourself, life will program you. The major key to your reaching your dreams, your making your contribution, is you. When I wanted to get on public television, you know, they told me, you can't do that. Hold time out. Let's be realistic. I said, well, wait a minute. Why can't I do it? Les, look here. You don't have any college training. They're not going to give me a break. What people think about you and the possibilities for your dream is none of your business. They have no imagination, ladies and gentlemen. They're living out of the past, out of their memory. Their attitude is it can't be done because they haven't seen it. The people that are going to make it in the future, let me share something with you. History is being read, but it's also being written by people with imagination. You look at your life, you look at what you produce. Are you doing all you can do? Have you gotten comfortable? Are you surrounding yourself with people that can nourish you? Are you learning something different? Is your life an adventure or is it boring? What decisions are you making right now as you look into the future? You don't want to ever put yourself in a situation where you have a limited vision and you're only using a limited amount of your talents and of your abilities. And I'm saying to you that it's necessary that you get outside of your comfort zone, that you do reading, that you do research. It's necessary that you don't be satisfied with where you are. If you want to make it today, it's necessary for you to constantly look at ways of getting better. This is not going to be it for my life. I deserve more than this.
Think about Mr. Washington. Young man, yes, sir. What do you want to do with your life? I want to buy my mother home, sir. I want to take care of my mother. I want to make my mother proud. How can you say you want to make your brother proud and you were in the dean's office the other day for fighting? Sir, they call me DT, the dumb twin. How do I get even, sir? Tell me. They pick on me all the time. I'm not like my brother. They always compare me to him. Mr. Brown, you want to get even? Yes, sir. Remember these words by Frank Sinatra. The best revenge is massive success. Become massively successful. That's how you become even. Mr. Brown, why did you sign those papers? I fought for you. I saw something in you. You've got greatness in you. I know you're not as fast as your brother. There's a hunger in you. When I saw your name, I couldn't believe it. Why did you do that? Several teachers met with me and said that you wouldn't be with me at Florida A&M University to help me. I would not make it at Florida A&M. You've been like a father to me. I never would want to bring embarrassment to your name. He said, I don't care what they say. Did you believe that you could go there and graduate? Sometimes you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief is in. Let us say together, it's possible. I can live my dreams. I will work on myself. I will retrain my thinking every day. I would read 10 to 15 pages of something positive every day. I will turn off my television and turn on my life. Let us say together, it's necessary to detoxify your life. Look at the people in your life and ask the question, what is this relationship doing to me? There are some people you need to let go. Let us say together, let go or be dragged. They're emotional vampires. They will drain you. Les, can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. There's some people that's so negative, they can walk into a dark room and begin to develop. You're talking about earning more money. You got to be serious. People say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves. Here's something else. Write this down. You're going to fail your way to success. There are people who should be there to encourage you. They're going to be the #1 members of the discouragement club. You have a dream, think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will have tribulations. And don't complain. Don't go around telling everybody. 80% don't care. 20% glad it's you. Suck it up and make it happen. Everybody, let us say together, leap and grow your wings on the way down.
Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do it with everything that you have. Develop the habit of giving more than what you're paid for. Develop the habit of setting standards that others will be measured by. Do not go where the path may lead, but go where there's no path and leave a trail.
Yeah, so in order to change a belief or a perception about yourself and your life, you got to go all in. It's not like you go 50% in. You got to go all in. You got to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that causes the body to respond to the mind, that the choice that you make becomes a moment in time you'll never forget. And you would say, I remember the moment I made up my mind to change. And the stronger the emotion you feel, the more you'll pay attention to the decision. And that's a huge stone.
The process of working on your dreams, you are going. To incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain.
There's a bigger dream waiting for you, just waiting for you to step into it. To step into it. Your life is big. Your life is huge. And we spend so much time wanting to be in somebody else's life. And you don't get honored, you don't get revered, you don't get celebrated wanting what somebody else has.
But momentum requires you always do the next thing to keep the momentum going. And the reason you get yourself in a passionate place is so that you change your life, and the only thing that changes your life is making a decision. So while you're in this passionate state, that's where you make decisions. If you make a decision in a state without momentum, if you make a decision from a place where there's no passion, you are not going to get momentum. It'll kill momentum. It's decide, commit, and resolve.
Well, the first thing I would say is, well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. First thing you want to do is dispense with the idea that you get to have any permanent security outside of your ability to contend and adapt. It's like you're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. You might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. Yeah. And if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
It's okay to settle. It's okay to give up. And that is the instinct you need to fight. You need to push back, to smash into the ground. Do not take the easy way out. Do not. give up based on instinct.
I don't remember now, I'm not talking about what makes you happy. It's a luxury to pursue what makes you happy. It's a moral obligation to pursue what you find meaningful. And that doesn't mean it's easy. It might require sacrifice.
Instinct that says, you've had enough. This is the instinct that says, you've given it your best shot. You can stand down. You can back off. You can take a knee. This is the instinct that says, you can rest now. Do not listen to that instinct. Do not listen.
If you are not defined by some vision that is bigger than you, and you are not passionate about that vision, then you're left with the old hardware of the past in your brain, and you will be predictable in your life. So would you agree then? New thoughts, new information should lead to new choices. New choices should lead to new behaviors. And new behaviors should create new experiences. And new experiences should produce new emotions.
Most people are not accumulating wealth. Most people are living in poverty. Most people are living far below their potential. Not because they don't have the capacity, not because they have not been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, but most people are living like they're living because of the fact that they don't believe they can have any more than what they now have.
A resilient person is capable of standing up to things in the face of fear and moving forward voluntarily, convinced of their own competence and ability to prevail.
If you break, the fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, as you rise above what you were, and as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
So every day you have to sell yourself and get out of your mind those old thoughts, that old belief system. Every day you've got to sell yourself on that it's possible